The mic was being a little bit tricky. Thank you. I hope you're doing well, by the way. Everyone say hello to Stephanie for being the best moderator in the world. Welcome to live stream. Crystal Marie, it's good to see you here. Long time. She is still a dedicated member to this channel, by the way. Thank you so much, Crystal Marie. She's got that cool green name in the chat. Esley, what's going on? She says, hi, Stephanie. I'll be listening, but my hands will be tied for some minutes. No worries at all. Whether you guys are just listening in your car, listening at your home, or listening just for the general vibe or vibrations, that's all good. My name is Brandon Tobias. It's great to have you all here on our channel, Science of the Soul and Stars. I say our channel because we have built this together. This did not come just from me. This came through me. And this channel is all about empowering people to reach their highest and greatest soul good in love and in life. It's always been about that. It always will be about that, no matter what specifically we talk about, whether it's tarot, whether it's healing, whether it's astrology, whether it's channeling. It will always be about empowering the people that listen to this channel here, now, and in this moment to their greatest and highest soul good. So if you're listening here, you caught this Sunday live stream, you're in luck, because the reading is going to be about you. The reading, the healing, the collective meditation, whatever it is the guides and angels command of today, of me, that allow for me to channel through me as a vessel, is going to be specifically for you. That's what we're going to be doing. Witchy Woman 70, I love that song by the Eagles, by the way. The Eagles is my favorite band. Witchy Woman is one of my favorite all-time songs. Let's see. South with Bo, just tapping in. Welcome. Tap it on in. Tap it on in. Tap it on in. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. So that's how I work. So my name's Brandon. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a channel and a guide, and I'm an energy conduit or energy healer, whatever you want to call it, some fancy name. But basically, I can tap into the collective energy, and I can speak out what the collective is feeling and going through, and help the collective to heal those wounds internally, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I had someone ask me, they reached out to me on Instagram, and they said, do you do physical healing work, or can you help with inflammation, or can you help with hormonal balance? And I said, absolutely. And they said, well, are you an astrology guy, or are you a hormone specialist? And I said, neither and both. At the same time, because when you deal with the emotional deep within triggers and spiritual lessons and karmic lessons inside, the physical stuff follows suit, and vice versa. When you deal with the physical stuff, the emotional stuff will start to come up. So both are intertwined. And I used to work as another sort of healer. I used to work as a biohacking specialist in Bulletproof Laboratory in Santa Monica, California. We had all sorts of machines. We had infrared light laser machines. We had hypnosis, theta brainwave rotation machines that put you in theta brainwave and let you mess with the subconscious mind. We had cryotherapy. We had oxygen deficiency and hyper efficiency trainers called the LiveO2. We had all sorts of stuff. And while it would temporarily help people on their physical symptoms that they were experiencing, whether it was they were out of breath, whether it was they were overweight, whether it was they were too tired, whether it was they were hormonally out of whack, while it would temporarily start to do that, where it would always, every single time, lead them physically, if they were just to attack the physical symptoms, was to the internal health, to the internal emotions, to the stuck emotions and spiritual traumas that have happened to them throughout their lives that they haven't forgiven or let go of, that's so deep underneath the layers of tissue, the layers of inflammation, the layers of body fat, that they couldn't even recognize themselves anymore. And so, yes, if you guys are wondering, physical issues such as hormonal deficiencies and hormonal imbalances, excessive body weight, chronic or constant inflammation, chronic or constant migraines or headaches or any sort of those things, do they have to do with the spiritual health? Yes, absolutely. And as you start to lose the inflammation, lose the excessive body weight, lose the constriction in the vessels that cause the migraines and headaches, you start to realize who and what you really are, but also really what happened to you deep down. We're at 222 average view duration, by the way, on YouTube. Also, what happened to you deep down inside in the body that caused that trauma, that caused that physical symptom to begin with. And here's what I believe, really believe here, guys. And I want you to really take this one in, because it's going to change a lot of lives if you guys are ready to hear these next words. Okay? This is completely different, by the way, completely different from whatever we've been taught. Completely different. There is no physical disorder on this planet being caused now or being caused from childbirth, or being caused from any sort of which way or diagnosis or any shit that the medical current language comes up with. There is no physical disorder that is not meant to be there from God himself that cannot be cured and reversed 100% completely. This includes cancer. This includes diabetes. This includes chronic fatigue. This includes any sort of Lyme disease or Lyme syndrome. If I could put a number on how many people that came in with Lyme disease and chronic fatigue into the center, the healing center that I worked at, I mean, it would be in the thousands. Honestly, it would be in the thousands. So there are people all around the world dealing with physical issues. And I don't know why Spirit is just calling me to go right to this particular subject, because they want me to be the bridge between physical healing and emotional spiritual healing. Because believe me, I know, I study the science. I've studied the cellular biology of what makes up a cell. I've studied exactly how these illnesses, viruses work, and the current, let's say, protection mechanisms we've established against these viruses. And I know that in a complex world where we have to go through all of this different testing, all of these different diagnoses, all of these different doctors and specialists, it all becomes very simple. And I want to simplify it for anyone watching here. Number one, if you have something that's wrong with you, you are curable. You do not have to be on medications, hormone therapy, or any type of therapy for the rest of your life if you don't want it. You are not impaired, you are not disabled, and you are not disempowered in any sort of way. You may have been led to believe that by a lot of people and systems outside of you, but that is not the truth. And I promise you, if you spend 30 minutes with me or you spend consistent time on this live stream, and we will show you that. We will show you miracles. We will show you healings. We will show you release and reduction of physical symptoms and sensations through the work of the spiritual, through the work of God, through the work of Jesus Christ, through the work of the angels. And when I say Jesus Christ, for those of you guys who aren't necessarily religious, I'm not religious either, by the way, but Jesus Christ is a master, an ascended master who knew how to work with the powers of the universe and the powers of healing specifically in the universe. And as an ascended master, his spirit, his power is still accessible to us on earth should we choose to utilize it. And I want to speak as grounded as possible here to as many humans tapping in who are like, man, this is crazy. I'm not a spiritual crazy guy like this guy. No, I'm not a spiritual crazy guy either, but I just learned how to utilize the powers that are accessible to every single one of us. Okay? So I want to start that off, and I want to give some hope and some faith to those of you guys who are dealing with anything from, again, chronic inflammation, chronic migraines or headaches, debilitating symptoms or illnesses or fatigue or anything that seems like it's limiting your experience. There is a way out. There is a cure. There is a healing, and I promise you it's available, but you have to be willing to go into your own body. And you have to be willing to go into your own body and to really discover what is there, why it's there, and what happened to you to allow the body to create those circumstances. There's a very famous line by someone named Dolores Cannon, who's a really well-renowned hypnotherapist that used to take people into their past life stories and discover what their past life stories were. And in her work, even though she was clinically trained, she began to, and this happened with thousands and thousands and thousands of clients, go into past lives and also go into their experience in the spiritual world or what happens after they die. She has a very famous book called On Life After Death, I believe it's called. That book will change your life, by the way. Dolores Cannon, On Life After Death. And one of the things that she channels or that she says, it's very famous, that came from one of the guides, one of the spirits that had went to the other side and came back that she got to speak to, is that our bodies will literally create the circumstances that our soul and our mind believes, our subconscious mind, not the conscious mind. No one in their right mind would wish that they had an illness or that they would create chronic inflammation or diabetes or anything like that. But deep down inside the subconscious mind, when that gets changed or when that belief gets instilled from a very early age from some type of trauma, some type of abuse, or some type of experience that leads one to believe a certain set of circumstances about themselves is true when it's not really true, then the soul must create those circumstances within the body. Do you guys see how that works? Joey the boss here is like, he's wanting to jump onto the live stream. He's like, let's get it on. Let's get onto this TikTok live stream. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, Joe. If you want to jump onto this lovely live stream and hop on, go for it. I can only have you on for just a few minutes because we got to get into the collective channeled messages. So we're gonna go. So forgive me, guys. This was a spiritual rant, but this is where the guides wanted me to take it. We're going to be getting into the channeled messages. So what I do is I'll channel the guides and angels, their messages for the collective right now, what we need to know specifically. And then we're going to go into the channel tarot reading for the collective in love and in life, greatest and highest good. This could be soul purpose, love stuff, relationship stuff, whatever it is we need to know. And then if we have time, I didn't set up my astrology, but we typically go into the astrology, the horoscope for the full moon, but I think I could just channel the energies. And then, by the way, if anyone wants a personal healing, personal reading, I will be doing that afterwards as well. And you can get that for a donation of $50 or more. Link for that is in my bio if you want a healing or reading personally at the end of this collective live stream in about an hour and a half. Let's have Joey onto the live stream real quick and see what's going on. Joey, what's going on, man? Go for it.
How absolutely bang on it is, because I will tell you this from a guy who never thought anything woo-woo 5 years ago. Call it woo-woo, I call it magic now. But I'm a clinical hypnotherapist by trade now. I've been doing it for 4 years. So you started talking about Dolores and what you do, past lives and the imprinting and how massive that is. Guys, if you don't understand this, it's okay. I know it sounds absolutely wild. But I'll tell you this, the past lives that I bring my clients into on a daily basis, and then my past lives that I experienced through hypnosis changed my life. Like, not even limiting beliefs, blocks that I had, like unworthiness and resistance to being a leader. All these things, I was like, I'm not this person, I'm not these things. Little did I know, I had to jump into a past life to realize why I had these things. So everything Brandon is saying, obviously it's got to resonate with you, but listen, this guy knows a lot. He's been through a lot, and he leads from this right here, and that's his heart. So I know I only have a few minutes, but I just want to tell people, like, this guy knows, okay? Like, listen up, be open-minded to not knowing everything. And that includes from your studies of the Bible, that includes your religions, that includes your school indoctrinations, your conditioning. Guys, there's so much more that we don't know. It's unbelievable. So anyway, dude, I just wanted to come in on saying what you're throwing down is all fire, and people are getting a lot out of it. So
hey, man, I so appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. And by the way, guys, this is my soul brother right here. He's fucking awesome. Like he said, clinical hypnotherapist. We just started chatting and just like, catching up after, I'm sure, all of our past lives. in this live, we just started catching up about a month ago. And we were just like, dude, this is crazy. You got to go do this, change the world. I got to go do this, change the world. Let's change the world together. And I love you, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. Go follow this guy. He's awesome. He's awesome.
And what you're saying right there, change the world. Like, a lot of people will be like, oh, okay. No, guys. You want to make an impact, do the work, go within yourself, find out what's going on, where your blockages are, and that includes physical ailments, that includes disease. Yeah. It all has a root cause, guys.
Yeah.
And what he's saying is bang on. So we can all change the world. We're all making an impact, and we decide on how we want to do that. So
awesome.
Thank you for allowing me this few minutes, brother.
You're welcome, man. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate you. Everyone go follow Joey. He's awesome. Soul brother right here. And let's wish him the best of luck on his journey. Thank you so much, man, for hopping on. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Later,
and if anybody's interested, I got a live tonight at, 9:30 Eastern. We meditate every night together, every Sunday night. So if you want to get into a deeper state with me and go explore, your own inner journey, we can come hang out tonight at 9:30 Eastern.
Go for it. Go for it. I have no doubt it's going to be transformational. All right, brother. Thanks for hopping on. Talk later. All right, bye. Oh shit, how do we, oh, there we go. Okay, cool. All right, that was awesome. That was so random. I promise you guys, we did not plan that in any way. But again, if you guys haven't followed Joey already, definitely go follow him. I haven't personally I need to get into one of his meditations, but from what I hear and what I can just sense, they're highly transformational. And so, what I can see happening here, since mine typically goes earlier and his a little later, if you guys pick up a lot of like gems from the download from the guides and angels, you're like, holy shit, this resonates. Like, how do I transform this in my body? I have a feeling that hopping into Joey's live stream, his meditation is going to help to facilitate that even more. So definitely go check him out. And let's go from there. All right. Anastasia 444. You have had a migraine for days. Haven't had one in so long. Used to get them all the time. That's amazing. And was that after we did that healing, Anastasia, that happened? Or was that just coincidental? They started healing away on their own? Let us know. I forget. Lizette, how's it going? She says, hello, Brandon, in the YouTube chat. Esley, Brandon, wow, everything you're saying is exactly what I needed to remind it of, and crazy. I've been wanting to do past life regression too. Emma Marie says, yes, follow him for sure. He's absolutely incredible. Awesome. So Joey's got some people in both of our chats here that are resonating. I love it. Stephanie says they are awesome. Good. Awesome. So good stuff, guys. Such good vibes. Let's get into the collective messages and start to rock this live stream out after that amazing guest appearance. So again, if you guys are just hopping in for the first time, we're going to be going into literal channeled messages, guides and angels for whoever's in this live stream on YouTube and TikTok and whoever watches in the future. Specific messages for your situation, whatever it is we need to know for our highest good to move forward into our destiny and or make the changes we need to in love and in life. Then we're going to be going into a channeled tarot reading. Okay, so again, these are confirmational messages, specifically though in love or relationship and or soul purpose, but I leave it up to them. And then we're going to go into either the astrology for the full moon and or personal healings, personal readings. If you guys would like to send a donation, I'd be happy to do a personal healing and reading for you. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Some of the guides and angels into the ceremony and go from there. Guides and angels, loved ones, masters and wise ones, angels and archangels. Calling in the energy of Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene and Isis. Good. Archangel Gabriel is here. Archangel Uriel is here as well. That's it for today. Good. Thank you so much for being here. Guides and angels, through the power of unconditional love, of course, and with permission of God as well, we are looking for the helpful messages that the collective needs to hear at this particular time for all of our and their highest particular good, whatever the messages we need to hear in this particular moment. They're saying, don't be afraid to dive right in. Okay, there's going to be a lot of opportunities, a lot of energies coming at you right now. And the biggest thing that would hold us back is a sense of restriction or a sense of not having permission to dive in, right? They're really pointing to the sacral area of the body of like, what is it you're afraid to dive into? What is it in your life that you might be trying to skirt around or you feel yourself pulling away from or you're really just kind of avoiding a little bit, yeah? What is that area in your sacral, in your life? As I say these words that you can feel deep within that you're like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I should really embrace it and go all in and really dive into it. Right there, they want to focus on that because they're saying right now it's safe. Okay, for this group in particular, it's very safe to just go all in and just say yes. Just do it. Okay, it may be a lot of money. It may be a lot of fear. It may be a lot of, risk involved. It's funny, Stephanie is my moderator, and we had a last session, and as part of her coaching, as part of her training, as we're going through her regimen, I'm starting to have her channel for me. And one of the things her soul channel for me was high risk, high reward. And I want to bring that message, thank you, Stephanie, for the collective here and now, is that it is, there's Alden, he decided to join in. If there is something where there's high risk, high reward, okay, that you might be a little bit hesitant to really dive into and sink into, that's the thing to open up to because it brings great rewards. Okay, it brings great rewards for your efforts. And specifically where there's fear or resistance in that particular spot, deep down inside, I want you guys to feel into this for just a second. You got to pull your energy back into your soul. Now, what's been happening in the collective is because there's kind of a dense area of risk or fear here deep down in the sacral in this area of life, it pushes our energy up. And so we start to get floaty. and we start to get a little lost, and we start to get a little bit in our heads, and we start to get a little bit indecisive, yeah? And we start to see all these different options that look pretty and are distracting us and are really pulling us into the wrong direction, when in reality, that's just a sense of needing to avoid the risk or fear involved in diving into that thing. Is that making sense so far to you guys? This is the collective message for what's going on right now. Now, this may even, here, stay with me now. This may even, okay, they're saying, lead back to a childhood defense or distraction mechanism from something or somewhere you developed the need to escape or to pursue something else to avoid the truth of something inside of yourself, to avoid embracing some part of yourself, okay? I'm going to give you a big example of what I realized this morning in my morning meditation when I was doing my healing. Is when I was in 6th grade. Okay, when I was in 6th grade, I was a very different person than the person I became in 7th and 8th grade, and I'll tell you why. When I was in 6th grade, I was still my authentic self. Nothing had got in the way. Nothing had told me I needed to change. Nothing had indoctrinated me to believe or think anything different about myself. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was a weird kid. Not in a weird, bad way, but like I was just an unusual kid. I liked doing weird things. You know, I liked being kooky, you know, goofy, off the ball, off the wall. But when it came to 7th grade, I started getting bullied bad. I started getting repressed. I started getting punished for being my weird self. Yeah. I started getting shoved into a corner, or quite literally, right? I can remember a bully shoving me into a corner and saying, this is not okay. Whatever it is you are that I don't understand, that I don't like, is not okay. And so, of course, what did myself do? Well, I said, all right, fuck it. I'm not going to be that, because that results in being shoved in a corner and saying that's not okay. So why in the hell would I still be doing that? Okay. So I want you guys to think back to that time. There might be something there for you right now. Back when you were a kid, when you were getting shoved into a corner, literally or figuratively. And in that moment, you decided, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend my time pursuing that thing instead of being my authentic self, because that's safer. And in that world, I can do and be whatever I want. And I don't have to face the harsh reality of who I am. The cost of being who I am. Yeah, that's the words that they're telling me right now. The cost. What was the cost of being who you were? And what did you do in order to avoid paying that cost? Because we didn't want to. And it's human nature to avoid, right? Who's going to sit there in 5th or 6th grade and say, you know what? I'm going to choose, even though I'm being punished, to pay the cost of being who I am because it's the right thing to do, right? Like, that's a very mature and hard thing to do at that time. Okay, at that time. That's so funny. At 1:44, I just got a pop-up email saying YouTube released the copyright from my last week's video. Isn't that weird? The timing of that? Something just got released here. That's so crazy. Yeah, it just happened again. Hi, Science Soul and Stars. Good news. The copyright claim on your video last week was released. That's so weird that just released right now. So crazy. So what did you do to avoid paying the cost of who you were at that time? And then what did you pursue? Now, chances are those things that those things that you pursued still stuck with you as habits to this day, to avoid doing the things that you really are, or avoid doing the things that are connected with who you really are. Okay, does that make sense? So if there's a block or a risk or a leap deep inside where there's fear and resistance, right, of embracing what's here in front of you, and it pushes you away up in your body outside of that area to do different things, look at what those different things are and look at how they've pulled you away from who you are. And I'll tell you, and I just told Paula Michelle, my beautiful girlfriend, this morning was, for me, it was football. Number 1 was football, and number 2 was video games. Because I'm gonna admit it to you guys. When 7th grade, I became 2 very different things that I wasn't in 6th grade. 1, I was like a video game addict. Like, I played online video games for hours and hours and hours and hours a day. And number 2, I played football the rest of the time. That's it. Because those 2 things let me be something different than who I was. How many of you guys can relate with that? Yeah? Those 2 things allowed me to literally be, like in the video game, I could create a character and be whoever the hell I wanted to be. I was always a magician, by the way. And in the sports, I could put on all these protective gear and this helmet and these shoulder pads and just go be something else. right? And it just so happened those two outlets allowed me to be, go pretty far and take it pretty far. But then 10 years later, when I realized, man, I've been living a lie of sorts 10 years later, and I go, that's not really who I ever was. It's like everything comes crashing down. And that's, 2012, I had this crazy, awakening, which I talked about with Joey on the podcast that we did, which is I think it's in both of our YouTube channels. But anyways, that's the question for us right now. Those are the channeled messages for all of us to hear and to know right now. And I want to hear from you guys, right? And let me just check and see if there's anything else about what that means, where that takes you right now. Okay, so there's a lot I can feel coming up right now, yeah, in the collective, just from saying this, like, whoa, okay, what have I really been avoiding or going through or really kind of digging in deep? We got 44 in the chat, and Daya says it's 444 here. 44 in the TikTok chat, 444 here, says Daya Renson. So yeah, the number's 444. Now, the other thing is, guys, and shameless plug here, I channeled an angel guide. Recently, I channeled an angel guide video, and you can buy it for $15. It's in the link in my bio on TikTok, and it's also in the description of this video, by the way. And I'll just give you a sneak peek. The 444, what the angels channel for that directly, specifically to who buys that guide, is about, okay, going through these tough times, persisting through because we're on the right path, but digging in because it's going to be a little bit rough along the way. It's a little bit rocky along the way, yeah? So 444. So moving forward despite the roadblocks and knowing you're on the right path regardless. So where we're going might be a tough road for the collective to go through. And I expect we might have quite a bit of healings to do after this collective live stream for people who do decide they want one and decide to donate. That's going to clear this out and help them move forward. But anyways, that's the first message. There's one more message they want to share. So guides and angels, what's the second message for all of us to share in this moment? I'm gonna actually channel a healing is what they want me to do. Okay, so they've been doing this quite often, but they want me to channel a collective healing. So for the people sitting here watching this is going to be for you. It's going to affect you if you choose to receive it. It can't affect you if you don't want to receive it. If you do choose to receive it, just say yes, I'm open to receiving it, and you'll receive this energy in as well. But they want to send a healing through the right side of our bodies here now. Okay, so it's going to come through the top of your crown, down through your neck, and then down to your legs, okay, and your sacral energy. So they want to ignite or help to open up the divine connection from above down to below, okay? That's what they're telling me. That's what they're here to do. That's why Archangel Gabriel's here specifically. So he's here to help with the healing. That's also why they talked about the healing, inflammation, all that stuff. All right, good. And you guys can say it in the chat if you want, if you open to receive and to receive this healing, but let's go ahead and go into it. So, guides and angels, loved ones, masters and wise ones, yes, for the collective, yes. So right here, they're pointing me to an energy right here, like in the side of our right side of our head here. So I want everyone to focus on this side of the head. There's an energy we need to bring back in, integrate, so it can come down again, okay? It's part of our connection to the divine, okay? All right, guides and angels, loved ones, masters and wise ones, yes, please help us for the collective. And those who choose to receive this particular live healing demonstration, help us to merge and integrate. And I'm going to go ahead and merge this energy in, this particular healing for the collective. Good. 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 A little bit more. A little bit more. Good. Good. Beautiful. One more, a little bit more here. So it's an interesting healing. So we're bringing this energy back in and down. This is for the collective. And then the last one's going to be opening the sacral here to receive. Open to receive, collective, open to... Good. 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 Now, if you feel into it, your energy should be down here more, okay? This could have a delayed effect for some of you as you choose to release and open. So they're saying the key is what this energy can do right here, right now, is start to open, start to catalyze the energy moving back down, and it wants to go to your sacral. Okay, so if you received it right now in this moment, you should feel the energy lower in here. And if not, they're saying please continue to open, to release and receive the energy from above, and make sure all the channels going down like that are open. Okay, so that's the divine. This is really the what they're saying, the divine action, the divine expression energy. That's what they're telling me it is. So it's right side, it's masculine energy. And this masculine energy will help you to perform, to be, to do, and to express in alignment with your true nature, and most importantly, in alignment with your divine self, your higher self. Okay, good. Anything else we need to do, guides and angels? Good, not for right now. And then the last thing is there's a little bit of fear here around this whole thing around embracing our own power, embracing our own sense of self. Okay, there's a little bit of fear deep down as well. I'm going to go ahead and release and remove that particular fear as well around all this crazy stuff for and through the collective as well. Now remember, the way this works, the reason we're doing this is because this particular group, and it's crazy, there's always consistently around 50 people in the TikTok lives. And I was talking to Paula about this. I'm like, am I limited to 50 people on TikTok? And I'm like, you know what? It's probably this 50 people who is the star seed collective who is meant to go out and affect change that we're affecting here, right? It's like once we affect a particular collective, that collective's going to go and affect their own collectives, and boom, 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 boom. So collectives upon collectives upon collectives, okay? So this is my work here. So removing the fear around any of this healing, and any of this spiritual stuff, anything around this particular these wounds, embracing these wounds, being authentic as well, being weird, being goofy, down in the sacral. Good. I'm going to release this fear in the name of God. Good. There we go. In the name of God, we release this collective fear and wound around fearing our own authentic self because of its unusualness or its oddness, its weirdness. Good. So we can more fully embrace and be in our authentic self. Good. All right. Whew. Okay. All right. So let's check in with the collective. How many of you guys felt that? How many of you guys felt something? Some of you guys may have felt nothing. That's okay. Just know if you choose to receive it in, it'll affect you later on. How many of you guys felt something from that and what happened? BIP7777 says, feel energy, warmth. SLA says, I avoided being seen and known by others would bully me out of jealousy. Essentially, I did my life for others to be comfortable. Yes. Aaron Bryan says, yes, feeling my sacral. I used to be shy, closed off, started photography in middle school so I could be alone and didn't have a typical high school experience. Candace Young, I felt something. Haley Pride me. Good. All right. Good. All right. Adriana says, nauseous the energy running through my body. Anastasia said, I felt it in my sacral. Good. Pilar says, I have herniated disc and sharp pain went away. That's amazing. There you go. Boom. That's what we're talking about. Emotional healing, even collective, even out of personal sight, leads to physical relief. Okay. Good. BIP77, yes, warmth, peace, love, one world. I don't know. I don't know. Good. And by the way, and you guys don't have to receive it in, but if you want to receive it in, okay, just go into those areas wherever the energy wants to come in and just open to receive. That's all you got to do. It won't even feel like it's coming from me, but it'll come from the divine because I stimulate that energy to come through and allow the permission to be opened on your soul's end. So it's going to come through where it needs to come through. My left hand is hurting in the top. Thanks. Good. Tammy Bo says, yes, thank you. Before we went in, I felt an energy on my right side. I wasn't sure what it was. Good. Awesome. So guys, and again, these are collective healings. If you guys want a one-on-one healing session, you can check out my website, brandontobias.com. I do pre-recorded tarot readings, channel tarot readings, also pre-recorded astrology readings, and I do live one-on-one healing sessions, and I do live coaching or empowerment containers where we can either work on literally healing your issues physically, emotionally, spiritually, or work on spiritually empowering you, or work on bringing out your gifts. So if you guys are looking for that, it's all on my website, brandontobias.com. And shoot me an email, brandon.tobias888@gmail.com if you have questions. Now, without further ado, let's get into the tarot reading. And if you guys are looking to see the actual cards that come out, channel again from the Guides and Angels. That is awesome. Now, what they're telling me, as opposed to the channeled messages this is going to be for the collective, is it's going to be like specific advice. Okay? So through the tarot, they're going to be able to get really specific here. All right, here we go. Betsy says, I listened to mine a second time on YouTube. It was great. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear. And by the way, if you guys want a personal healing or personal reading after this collective, which should be about 30 to 45 minutes from now, I do have a link in my bio for a live stream specific personal healing or reading that we're going to do after this per $50 donation at least. So if you guys want to sign up for that, the list is open and you can find it pinned at the top of the chat in YouTube or in the link in my bio. So we will be doing that today. All right, guides and angels, loved ones, masters, and wise ones, angels and archangels, through the power of unconditional love. What are the messages? What is the advice specifically for the collective here and now? So here's the acceptance. The first word they're telling me is acceptance, okay? So there's something within you, there's something within your circumstances, there's something that is really needing a lot of acceptance deep down inside, right, in the gut and the soul. And the reason you want to accept it or to bring the energy of acceptance into your life is so that you can move forward. Some of us have to be willing to accept what was in the past, or part of ourselves that was in the past, or what happened in the past in order to move forward. Either way, there's an opportunity to move forward into a whole different landscape should we bring a lot of empowered acceptance into the things that have happened, both either in our past relationships, current relationships, family, work, whatever it is. There's a part of us that we're needing to accept here in order to move forward. There's also potentially a fear around starvation here, okay? Collective fear around starvation, around societal collapse, around things not being okay, like a collective worry that just things are not going to be okay, things are not going to be just or justified here. There's also probably the need I see here, Six of Swords, to get out of Dodge, to get away to a new land, right? Because this is kind of like, man, shit is going sideways, or shit has gone sideways, so I'm needing to go to a new place now. It's time to go to a new place to move on. But the part that's anchored that I see deep within to the collective here is something that hasn't been accepted fully. Some part of us, some chapter we've been through, some experience that needs to be just accepted, loved and accepted, brought into ourselves. Let me tell you literally specifically what I mean in this particular moment. How do you do that? Okay, some of you guys are asking, how do you do that? Again, this is what I teach to people, is you go in and you feel, let's say you've been through a traumatic event, or you've been in an accident, or you've been in some type of thing, right? Some type of tower moment that left you really in a not so good state. Well, if we stay in the disempowered state of this thing happened to us, therefore I can't move forward. This thing happened to us, therefore I'm really nervous to do this that would replicate that thing that happened that really terrorized me. We're never going to be able to move forward. We're never going to find fulfillment. We're never going to change, evolve, grow, and move on. And this is really what the unfortunate part of our modern systems is, whether it's, psychiatry, whether it's doctors, whether it's surgery. All of these things just allow us to basically continue living in our pain, just alleviate the pain a little bit, but continue living in that same pain and not moving forward. When in reality, life was always meant to move us forward. Six of Swords here. Life was always meant to move us forward, even through the pain, even through the trauma. There is no pain on earth that should ever stop us in our tracks. If it does stop us in our tracks, it means we've stopped growing, we've stopped moving, we've stopped evolving. Even if that thing was or is debilitating or seems debilitating in some way, I promise you, and again, through personal experience, it will lead into an empowering state. I told you guys in 7th grade, I decided to commit most of my energy in life to video games and football. I made it really successfully in football in 2012. I tore my knee, my whole identity, everything I've worked for 10 years was gone in an instant. And in that moment, even though I thought I was never going to be able to move forward, find happiness, find success, find a woman, find all these things, and it destroyed me and I thought my life was over, because I decided to keep moving and have faith and persist overall, eventually it transformed me and it allowed me to find my true self, which I'm in now, fully 100%. My point is, even though in those moments, and if you're in this moment where you feel like there is no moving forward because you're stuck or you've been debilitated or there's some crazy traumatic pain, if and when you choose to move forward from that pain, you will be transformed forever and you will be a changed person. And you will get to live with that change. You will get to live with that evolution. You will get to live with that added experience into your soul's depth of experiences. Because the soul is all about the depth of experiences. The soul didn't come into human incarnation to have a perfectly clean slate. Yeah? The soul didn't come into this human experience to keep a perfectly clean, lighted up slate of perfection, of I never have to get my soul or hands dirty. No, it came in to experience all of the darkest possible, hardest, evil parts of love and in life, so that I could get dirty and experience what that dirtiness is, and realize that the whole time you could wipe the slate clean with love and light at any time and continue to move forward, but you will still always remember what those experiences were. So you learn from them, you grow, you have depth. Does that make sense? So the deeper and darker experiences you are accepting or integrating or learning, the wiser you're becoming. The deeper and darker experiences you've been through in love and in life in this lifetime, the more blessed you are, because the more wise you have the opportunity to be, the more powerful you have the opportunity to be, the better teacher, the better lover, the better human you have the opportunity to be through this trauma. This is making sense to everyone. King of Swords and High Priestess. So, in this way, if you choose in this moment to get very serious and very disciplined about your spiritual healing, your spiritual work, to be willing to go into the body and to accept and to love those traumas, those tower moments, those destructive tendencies within or without that you have experienced inside and internally, and embrace the darkness, embrace the stains on our souls, embrace the events that have happened that did not cause happiness or light or love, but caused the opposite, evil, darkness, despair, and fear and pain. If we go in and embrace even those moments here in this moment, we can move on and we can evolve. Yeah? That is the message right here specifically to do in order to move forward in this particular moment, so we can leave the past behind. Yeah? Leave the past behind. So we are ready. Okay, it is time, like all the time, like this is what the message right here, right now is, like all the time that we've spent needing to heal, needing to go through the pain, needing to experience trauma and drama throughout love and relationships, that is coming to an end. It is time to leave all of that behind. It is time to move on to a better way of being. Okay, we are done karmically going through in a human level the traumatic pain and experiences that would cause us to have to learn the lessons we're speaking out now, right? It is time to let the past behind and to be able to move forward. But in order to do that, as we said, it's about accepting that those things happen. Those things were also a choice. And they are also a choice now to accept and to integrate, to accept and to love, to move on. Even though there may be fear of what's beyond or what's inside, what's really inside, like I'm talking like what's really inside of you. Like if you're watching this live stream, you're a powerful ass person. And I'm just going to say, you're a powerful ass person. Like I'm saying, you have a choice as to whether you are willing to really actually say, I'm really ready to embrace what's really inside, like what I can really do, what I can really transform, what I can really be for the world, society, myself, for the people around me. I'm ready to step into that. But it's a choice because it's a lot and it's very powerful, and that can be intimidating and scary. But at the same time, your guides, your angels, your higher self is like, hey, it's time. Are you ready? When that time comes, Two of Cups here, Knight of Pentacles, and the Chariot card, when that time comes, when you are ready to accept what has happened in the past fully, with the pain, with the darkness, with the evil, with the fear, with the despair, when you can accept that human beings are capable of not only giving this, but receiving this in as well, and that you yourself, us ourselves, myself included, are definitely capable of giving this out as well as receiving, and when we can all accept those parts, we can finally move on into and move forward into true love, deep love, divine love, and commitment for the long term, because we won't have anything else that we're hiding from internally anymore. We won't have anything else that we are too afraid or too young or immature spiritually to look at that we allow to cause issues, self-sabotage, or self-destructive tendencies anymore in our life. Okay. Six of Cups here, Justice, Seven of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords. This is the energy. This is the choice between the energy, right? Seven of Pentacles, Six of Cups, and the Six or Eight of Swords here. It's like living in a way where it's safe, it's okay, it's like decent to live in that kind of way or space, emotional space. where we're not really looking or embracing what's happened or what can happen or who we really are or what this really means for us. And we're still a little unconscious or disheveled or unfulfilled with our work, with our life generally. We're not fully satisfied with our love, with our connection, with our relationships, with our sex life, with anything of those things. And that's okay, but it's safe. Okay, it's safe there. Nothing's going to happen. It's safe. It's a place to be. It's a contained place to be. Are you going to want to live in a contained place like that? And that's perfectly fine if you are. That's one area that the collective can be in right now, in our own little shell. Or we can choose the other route, which is dangerous, which is a little crazy, which is all in, which is a leap, which is embracing our spiritual power, which is embracing our true commitment, which is embracing true love, and which is embracing the fact that it can all go down in a fucking second, but at the same time, we have fully loved, we have fully expressed, and we have fully given our hearts and our souls to the world as best we can, and we've learned along the way. Those are the two choices that we face here and now to the power of unconditional love that we must be willing to look at. That's the choice coming up in the collective heart, mind, and soul in this particular moment. And that is a choice for all of us to make when we are ready. Specifically. So to sum up, first comes love and acceptance of what has happened, what has been, the parts that have shown up in us and other people around us, the evil, the darkness, the despair, the manipulation we've experienced from and within the past, accepting and loving and saying, that was a part of my experience. I signed up for that experience. I embrace that I signed up for that experience. And you know what? I'm done with that experience. I'm moving on. But it doesn't mean I don't love that I went through that experience. It doesn't mean that person, I don't love the fact that person put me through that experience, because it created the wisdom, the depth, the darkness, and the ability to lead and teach from those experiences deep inside of my soul. That is where we need to go, right there. That is where we need to go, to embrace that inner dark self inside, around the pain we've experienced, the pain we put out, and all that was and all that we have had in our lives, in order to bring out our fullest extent of power. So what is it, right? What is it that we haven't quite looked at and said, I accept that, I accept this as it was, I accept this, what I've been through as it was, and I pull that in and I say, thank you, God, for allowing me to go through that experience, because it made me who I am today, and I'm ready to go change the world with it. And I don't want to deal with the shadow aspects that those things that I haven't accepted within myself are causing unconsciously in my life to be destroyed. Because it's exactly those things that we haven't yet accepted deep inside that are causing the unconscious part of ourselves to self-sabotage and self-destruct in the areas of our life where we could be potentially very healthy, loving, and aligned with God, the universe, and our other half. This is exactly where we need to go. Now, once this happened, true love, true commitment, and moving forward to a new place and a new state is what's on the horizon for each and every single one of us, emotionally, energetically, whether you're in a relationship or not, in a new place, a new state. This is what's coming. And true emotional freedom. Okay, freedom from the conflict, freedom from the death, freedom from the endings, freedom from the tumultuous roller coaster of a ride through love and relationships, epic dramas. Those harder times are coming to an end. And I know, because I've been through it as well as part of this collective, that has been a crazy, huge emotional roller coaster over the last year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it's been for you. Up and down craziness. If you're ready to put that to an end, amen in the chat, and you're ready to move forward to peaceful, loving, aligned, divine times where our shadows don't self-sabotage ourselves, moving forward and being with our divine partner in love and in life for the rest of our lives, let us know in the chat, because that's what's coming. True aligned, heart-centered, love, passion, commitment, and purpose to go out and change the world. That is exactly what awaits all of us if we are willing to accept those parts of ourselves inside that have held us back, self-sabotage, and have been too scary or too intimidating or too disempowered in order to be accepted and changed and transmuted into love and light. All right, final 3 cards of advice. For those of you guys who are resonating with this, let us know in the chat how you are feeling in this particular moment. Is this resonating with you? Sun card, Ace of Pentacles, and the Emperor coming out loud and clear. if the guides and angels are going to channel this last message, if you are willing to go in today, or as soon as you feel comfortable or ready to do this, and to go into the deepest part of your soul and to accept what has happened to you, to accept what you have done, to accept everything as a perfectly okay, perfectly good, perfectly love part of the experience, even if it seems dark, evil, if there was trauma, there was abuse. If you are willing and brave enough to go in and say, I love and accept that this happened to me, I integrate it here and now into the depth of my soul so I can use it to love others, to empower others, to fulfill the purpose of others. That is the purpose and journey of what awaits you. And when that happens, you will be so empowered, so aligned, and you will have so many opportunities to move forward, to make money, to be empowered fully. It's not just about money or finance. It's really not, because money's not even a real thing. But it's really about the universe giving us energy or opportunities to shine, to feel fulfilled, and to live with the resources we need to live in abundance. And to either receive in your king fully, or to allow your king to thrive, or to just be a king in your own right. If you're listening to this and you want to be in your power fully, that is what awaits you here and now through the power of unconditional love, if you claim it. If you claim it. Thank you so much for listening. This was the Divine Love and Life Tarot reading. Hope that was helpful for you guys, and thanks so much for hopping on. Beautiful stuff. All right. So let me take a moment here and pause before we shift into the next part of the live stream. Haley Price says, man, I'm crying at the grocery store. Lizette says, resonates with the heart. Silent Iden says, amen. Crystal Marie says, yes, 100%. Misty Power says, resonates. Thank you. Miss Power says, will true love be the same person? J.R. Rich says, amen. Aaron Bryan says, amen. Feeling this. Jack the Great. So we got amens in the chat. We got love in the chat. We got life in the chat. We got everything we need in the chat. Let me just see if, let me see what's going on and see if anyone's ordered a personal reading or personal healing for after the collective live stream. I don't think anyone I haven't seen any come through. So that's still available. But in the meantime, if you guys want that, that's pinned at the top of the chat in the YouTube, or it's in the link in the bio in TikTok. What I want to do is go through the full moon energies, the horoscope for you guys, so that we can know what's going on the 14th in specifics. We already went through that in some last week as well, but I want to go even more in depth and channel just a little bit more about that. And then we'll finish out with just hanging out and just having a quick Q&A. Paula's advice to me last week, and it's kind of flowing naturally already, was to kind of shorten down things a little bit. People don't always have 4 hours to spend on these live streams, and I totally understand that. So I just wanted to be able to put this out there. So let me go ahead and grab my handy dandy laptop. In the meantime, if you guys want to ask any questions for me while I get set up here, we can do that. Silent Iden, you're so welcome. Thanks so much for sharing that. I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Sammy, for sharing the live video. I really appreciate it. Sunny Red 22 says, making me cry. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm really glad that that's happening. Crying is so healthy these days. Crying is so healthy in most cases, I would say. Sherry says, you're good, man. Thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I try. I've been doing it for a while. Took a long break, as those of you guys on YouTube know. I took a long break, but I've been doing it for a while before that. All right, so let's go into the astrology. I just want to do a quick horoscope reading here for the full moon specifically. Those of you guys who weren't aware, we do have a full moon, I believe, in Sagittarius. Stephanie, can you confirm? Is that in Sagittarius? Let's go ahead and see. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna do a blank screen here just for a second as I pull up the horoscope. I should have had this ready to rock and roll, but I did not. So what I'm doing, guys, is I'm going on to, I'm putting the horoscope here onto the YouTube. There we go. There we go. All right. Sorry, guys. It's going to look a little ugly for just a second as I adjust this screen. But I should be up and running right about now. There we go. And we are live. All right, so we should have the chart up and running here on ephemeris. We're going to go ahead and add my video as well. I'm so sorry I didn't have this set up. I'm so sorry, guys. That way we can chill out like this. All right, cool. And we can decline some cards coming in from my credit card collectors. All right, June 12th, 2022. Let's go ahead and go into it. 1222, by the way. That's a solid angel number. So those are guys who want to check out the chart here on the live stream. Feel free to go ahead and do so. On YouTube, you can see the chart live. If not, you can stick around on TikTok. So let's get into it. Thanks so much, Sammy, as well for the likes. So let's go into the live stream, the full moon. So June 12th, 2022. Moon here, of course, will be full. Just so I can confirm here, it will be full in Sagittarius and Gemini. That's right. If I remind myself, it was Sagittarius and Gemini here. So moon right now is on 29 degrees Scorpio here, and it's approaching the south node. Okay. Saturn in Aquarius at 25 degrees, making a square to the moon and nearing the south node here in Scorpio. Juno here is trining Ceres and Lilith. Good. And Jupiter here is square. Yeah, Jupiter here is square. So this is definitely a past life chart, I would say, like getting to the root of restrictions holding us back from past life tendencies. So my point with saying that for you guys directly as value is if you guys are having these unconscious blocks that are coming up, like you're just afraid to make a necessary change in your relationship, in work, within your family, within some connection or some memory or some thought keeps coming up. This is about getting to the truth of that through exploration of our past lives and the deep unconscious of our soul, or allowing the deep unconscious of our soul to be explored and investigated, specifically with the moon here in Scorpio. Scorpio loves to investigate the deep, dark truth here, in order to find the truth, in order to find clarity, specific mental clarity to let it go. Okay. So what I recommend doing in this particular time is, okay, what am I feeling deep down unconsciously, right? What are we feeling deep down unconsciously that has a hold on our body, that our body gives us a freeze response specifically around or for moving forward, that we can say, all right, body, here's the question, body of mine. What is it? Why is it that I have this deep block right here in the solar plexus? This is around stepping into our truth and our power and expression. Body. What is it around, right, this past life or deep down in my truth or soul that is keeping me from the truth in my expression? You may have visions. You may hear words. You may actually, realize. Thank you so much, Camille, for your donation. She's the first one on the list. I'm excited to read or heal for her. Come up to the surface in order to allow you to really embrace that and to move forward. So that's the first thing that I will say is coming up. Now, Mercury's here around the north node. So this logical clarity around the unconscious blocks is going to really help you to determine what that is so you can make peace with it and move forward and embrace more of your creative potential. Okay, good stuff. So that's specifically today. All right. All right, and then moving into the 14th here in the full moon and current messages. So remember, we went through this last week, but Chiron conjunct Mars here, square Lilith and Ceres. So remember we were channeling earlier that this is around embracing those darker parts or all the darkness that's occurred to us in our lives and our souls, and or the embrace of those parts of ourself that is has stained, right? Has a stain on it from dark events that have happened. and wounds, particularly within our masculine identity or masculine partnerships or masculine energy generally. That's going to be a tremendous release here. Sun is in Gemini to help us become better leaders or teachers. Saturn in Aquarius trine Sun in Gemini to be able to see things from afar and help guide others towards a common truth. So what we're seeing here in the collective that we can step into is the collective truth is being shared. There's collective truths that are being shared by different influencers or different movements within the collective that is here to help guide us towards a common goal. So what do I mean by that? You may see common themes being shared by celebrities, by influencers, by people who are really wanting to make an impact. You may see common truths that are being shared that you really resonate with. And what they're saying is if you resonate with that common or collective truth within a particular crowd or group, that you are meant to learn more, you are meant to embrace that particular crowd or group, and you're meant to actually embrace the message that that group is sharing. Even if others don't agree with you, or even if you're on the opposite side of the spectrum of what is popular or acceptable. That right there. What they're telling me is right now the collective is in need of. I know this is going to sound crazy and weird because typically we're all about love and light uniting, and I agree with all of that. And I think there's a way to do this. But what I'm seeing here is there's almost a necessary conflict of interests happening within the collective that is happening because two points of view that are solid, that are expressed, that are strong in their foundations need to come together to find a common truth, to find a common agreement. There cannot be a uniting of the two different sides of polarities within the collective from different points of view or different perspectives if they aren't in themselves brave enough to actually express and to risk that point of view being expressed in the commonality. Okay, let me kind of ground that down in English. Okay. If you're following whatever social media or influencers or celebrities you're following where there's messages being promoted and you really resonate and you really agree and you want to be a part of that, that's a place you can go to learn and be more of it, to join something that you really deeply believe in. And what they're showing me is there's different pockets of these groups that believe in certain truths that are to be promoted within society. And what society is trying to learn right now is the necessity of conflict through the expression of their will. I know. For those of you guys, right, it sounds kind of crazy. It sounds kind of backward, like we don't want to create conflict. I know. But in some ways, conflict can be healthy. Not like destruction, not like killing or that type of conflict at all. But two opposing points of view coming together to share their perspective in a loving way, but also in a way that's strong, so that we can get down to the truth or merge those two parts together in order to be able to come to a commonality, come to an agreement. That is healthy. I'm going to tell you guys a little story that happened really recently, and hopefully you guys don't think I'm an asshole from this, but it's the truth, and it's who I am on a human level. Recently, me and Paula decided that it's time to hire landscapers for our yard because the weeds were out of control and it's literally 112 degrees outside. So we're like, that's a little bit too much for us. So we're going to hire some landscapers. What would have taken us 2 days took them 45 minutes literally. So we called one up. First one came over, saw everything, and they gave us a quote of $400. Both of our guts said, no, that's too much. Let's call some others. I told them, hey, we're going to call some other people. We had another person come over, and nice guy. They're both nice guys. And same thing, walked around the premises, surveyed it, and he gave us a quote of $250. And in my gut, I kind of was like, that's just the energy from which he said it and the energy how I feel. I'm like, that's a little bit just outside of what I was wanting to pay for this service. And I really, I'm going to pay this guy well. He's going to come by every 4 weeks and be a lifetime customer. And so I said, no, $200. If you want to work for me for life, if you want to gain, my services, I'm going to offer you $200. And so the guy, looked at Paula and Paula looked at me, and, they had a relationship because they both spoke Spanish and I didn't really speak Spanish. And so the guy I could see was looking at Paula like, really, this guy's going to just try to give me less money. He's, being a cheapskate or whatever. And I just looked at Paula and I said, hey, let me handle this. And I looked at the guy and I said, 200. And I said, 200 because, for one, I want to make sure you do a good job. 2, that feels right for me. And 3, if you do a good job, I'm gonna call you for the rest of the time we're here, which is probably several years. And to me, that's a great deal, right? So let's settle at 200. And he said, 220. And I said, deal. Now, I bring this up to say that there was a necessary conflict in the renegotiation of me saying 200 versus his initial statement of 250, right? There was a necessary conflict. There was a necessary discomfort there. I had to stand by and watch as he looked at Paula, and Paula was also surprised, and like, why are you saying that? And the guy, and everyone was surprised, and I'm like, 200. But at the end of the day, he came down and met me in the middle. And also, we had a greater mutual respect for one another after that. And I felt it. I felt, instead of just conforming or saying yes to the first thing that he said or that he thought was right after just taking a look, that if we could negotiate and we could settle this out, we could have a better mutual respect for one another and a better working relationship. And in my opinion, we now have a better, closer working relationship than we would have if I would have gone for his initial quote. So the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is not because, I want to tell you guys how to negotiate or share business tactics or anything like that, but it's the necessary conflict. It's the exchange of words. It's the exchange of perspectives mixed together that allows human beings to actually find a common ground. And we have lost the art of being able or willing to conflict with each other directly, face to face, in a loving and direct way. You guys see that? So that right there, I'm going to end this, this particular reading. I'm going to close with that because I think that demonstrates really well exactly what we can start to bring out again that wasn't really safe before this, right? It may not have felt safe for me in the past or for some of us in the past to really bring out what we are, because it would definitely cause conflict with other people. It would get them to think differently, see differently, think of themselves differently, maybe even trigger them a little bit. But if we know and we can accept that healthy, direct, loving conflict is actually a good, healthy thing, bartering, negotiating a good, healthy thing between societies in the world, between people, between collectives, between neighborhoods, between neighbors is a good, healthy thing, then I know we can all really move forward in a progressive way. And that's really what this full moon is bringing out of us, is where can we allow ourselves to have this healthy, loving conflict in order to progress and evolve forward and come together closer with each other and our souls. Okay? All right, so that is the channeled full moon messages. Thank you guys so much for watching that. So what do you guys think of that? Let us know in the chats. Any thoughts, feelings, feedback? Alden has joined us yet again. He's got his toy. He's nice and persistent with bringing his toys into the office, into the room. I'm going to take a sip of water. And we are going to be going into the personal readings and personal healings now at this time. So if you guys would like to get on the list, we do have one person signed up, and it is first come, first serve. So if you guys want to get on the list before there's too many that get on, you can find that link in the bio, and we'll do a personal reading, personal healing for you live on the live stream for a donation of $50 or more. 15:55 with the average view duration, so it's a good time to get on right now. Change your life. Claudia, what's going on? Welcome to the live stream. Adriana369 says, honored the gifts of others. An exchange of energy is what has to be done. Exactly. I love that. I love that. I love that. Krista Marie sends hearts. Stephanie says, the full moon coupled with the slow grind of the Saturn retrograde means we are definitely building stronger foundations. Oh, Stephanie's been studying the astrology. That's awesome. Thank you. Stephanie, you should start an astrology channel. I think that'd be awesome. How many of you guys would watch an astrology channel from Stephanie? Thank you, Brandon, for allowing the guys to speak through you, showing up and showing out 100%. Angela says, so true, Brandon. It's definitely needed again. Thank you for the reminder. Esley says, I needed to hear all this, literally everything you said in the stream. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Yes, Claudia, you missed it, unfortunately. It's a powerful one. The Guides and Angels came through in a very strong way, but the recording will be on my YouTube channel, Science of the Soul and Stars, if you guys are interested in checking out the divine replay. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the healing. So first up, we have Camille. Camille S. is the first one up. Now, Camille, are you on TikTok or are you on YouTube? And what are you looking for today? Are you looking for a personal reading, personal channeled reading, or or a healing? You're welcome, Lizette. Thank you so much for sharing that. We're looking for Camille. I wonder, I think we did Camille in a previous one. I'm not sure if it's the same one. I think she was on YouTube last time. So Camille, if you're here on YouTube, she might be a little bit delayed before we see it. Awesome, Adriana. Yep, looking forward to it. All right. Blue Ocean Hut says, hi, FYP video of She Legit. Have you tried the She Legit yet? It's pretty awesome. I have it every single day. It's so energizing. It's so good. All right, there she is. So Cammie, Simone, Camille. I was on YouTube last time. You did a reading last week. Awesome. So what can we do for you today, Camille? Can we do a reading or a healing? What are you looking for? What the one I should book in your bio? I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's really good. It's one of the best I've had, actually. I've tried about 5 or 6 of them. This one comes as an actual tar, and it's actually soft and pliable. It's not like hard as a rock, and it's not too melted or messy. It's really good quality. No, I haven't. How do you take it? You just basically, you dig in a little bit of like a butter knife, get a little bit of a chunk, roll it in your fingers as a little ball, and you put it right underneath your tongue. And it's got like a nice earthy taste, but man, do you feel like strong, invigorated, really solid. You just chew and sweet. Yeah, it's not sweet. It's a little bit tarry. All right, Camille, is there a question that you got, or is there a specific healing you're looking for? Or are you looking for just a general one? Energy healing, that is. Okay, good. All right, good. And Camille, is there any specific ailments, something that you're looking for in particular? You're looking for just a general healing, and you want me to go in and kind of see what's going on? I'm gonna wait for your response, and also check in and just see. General will be fine. Okay, great. All right, so this is for Camille, on TikTok here, Cammie Simone. First one to donate, I appreciate it. To the power of unconditional love, calling in the guides and angels here and now for Camille. So the first thing I'm getting, Camille, so it's the energy is up here. Your energy is up here. And there's these words. I see almost like your wings, but one of them's crumpled, okay? And your energy is up here, and I see a black spot. So I see like almost like angel wings, but one of them's crumpled like this. And I see a black spot right in the middle of those angel wings. And the words that I hear subconsciously from the soul here, or the energy body, is I can never be activated and fully open, or fully free, fully opened. You believe that you're crippled in some way. There's some, and energetically speaking, right? The soul is saying, it believes it's hurt or crippled or wounded in some way. Like I see the crippled wing here. Okay. So that's the belief up here. Now, what does this lead Camille to experience in her life? A lack of empowerment, a lack of belief in herself, and lack of faith for things to happen in the way that she dreams or desires. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's for Camille. So what we're going to do, Camille, is we're going to go ahead. It's going to be maybe a little bit of a painful process, but we're going to open that wing up, and we're going to go in and we're going to remove that lack, okay, that lack belief that's in there around what's possible, around your empowerment to receive and to make this happen, and also to move forward, okay? That's for Camille specifically. All right, so we're going to go up here. So Camille, I want you to follow my hands here. We're going to go right up here on the top of your head, right on the top of the energy body. All right, to the power of unconditional love, we're asking for this particular point to be filled with light and love, to be pierced and to be opened, and for enough divine energy and light from God, loved ones, masters, and source of all that is, was, and ever will be, to fill in these gaps and to open that arm or wing good. Now stay here, stay here, stay here. Top of the head. Even more, even more. Now, Camille, I need you to open to receive, open to receive, open to receive. Open the mind here, okay? I want you to let go of doubts, let go of fears. Okay? Yep. Open the mind of and let go of all doubts and fears. Opening for more divine energy to fill in. Right side. She says, yeah, my right arm has been in pain since I took a nap one afternoon. There's a subconscious belief that came up that's meant to be released from that nap in particular is what they're saying. Ooh. And here now we let go of, we release specifically any of the darkness or the toxicity that has led for Camille to lack belief here in her spoken word, in her strength, in her divinity, and in God himself. For where there is true faith. Calling to the power of unconditional love for all of this and more to be released. And the feeling of not wanting to do it. Yeah, not wanting to do it. Do the work. Do the work. The divine work. Part of you knows it's going to be a lot of work when you're activated fully. And so it's shut it down a little bit. So we're going to activate that part here now for Camille. Good. Good. Okay. So what I saw, Camille, is divine light come down, open up to the right side and really bring this side online. And then the last release was coming back up to lift yourself up and to give you more energy and freedom to move forward with your heart wide open. She says, interesting, my right arm has been in pain since I took a nap one afternoon. She says, I have something I'm working on that has brought up great fear. Good. How are you feeling this moment? Let's check in. Anything shift or change that you felt? There should be a better clarity for you moving forward. And there should also be a better initiative to be able to go for it. They're saying your lessons moving forward from here is to not allow fear or a resistance to working on, to bringing out the big guns. They're saying to bring out the big guns in your life and your soul. Because I feel like whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on, is like a big thing. It's a big project, a big deal. Like I could feel the energy of it from here in my gut, my soul. They're saying don't let the intimidation from how big it is or big it can be bring you down. So I see your energy body now standing above and with it rather than kind of holding down, right? Getting held down by the weight of it now. Good. He says, definitely feel a shift. Thank you. You're so welcome. And if you have questions or need help integrating that any further, let me know you can email me, brandon.tobias888@gmail.com. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hi, Dreamer. What's going on? Welcome to the YouTube Live. Good to have you here. All right, guys. Last call. If anyone else wants a personal reading or healing for today, link can be found in the TikTok bio and or pinned in the YouTube comments. And if not, we're going to close out in just a few. I'll give it a few more minutes. If you guys want to do a general Q&A in the meantime, we'll wait for anyone else to sign on up. And we'll go from there. But let's open it up. Does anyone else have any questions generally for me, for life, for something they've been going through, something I can help them out in this moment to give some clarity for, some reassurance for? Or what? Just anyone want to share what they've been going through? How to know what life path to take. That's a really good one. Dreamer, hi, how? It's the link in the bio here. Yes, Aaron, I got your last email. I do plan on responding, and I'm going to send you that link to schedule for next week. Thank you so much for checking in. All right. Yeah, Dreamer, if you're looking for a healing or reading, link is in the first pinned comment here in the YouTube chat and also in the TikTok bio. Esle has a great question. How to know what life path to take? While there are many different paths, Esle, there's only one core essence of who you are. And the thing is, all life paths that you go down are always meant to show you who you actually are deep inside, eventually and in time. So the first answer I'll give you is there's no wrong answer to any life path to take, because eventually they all lead to the same destination, which is us knowing who we are deep inside and realizing who we are deep inside. Number two, the second answer I'll give you is once that's discovered, once you feel into that, there can only be that from which you are that can be expressed in anything that you do. So it's almost like they lead to each other, because for you, I sense that there's like many different things you can do. Just intuitively, I sense there's many different things you can do in life. Like there's many different types of activities, hobbies, interests, and you're talented at that. Like I'm getting Gemini energy that you have a lot of different possible paths or talents to do stuff with. But no matter what you do, the core essence will be the same as long as you know and embrace who you are. So the best thing the guides and angels are saying is depending on what you want to experience in this life or what you desire in this moment, to use your core true essence to find the thing that will lead to, in a logical way, the thing you want the most, whether it's money, fulfillment, recognition, love. They're saying choose the path in society now that will allow the core true essence of who you are to shine in a way that brings you what it is you want. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. I know that's a difficult way to look at it, but I know it's confusing, but that will free you. I know that will free you from all those paths, because I know it can be overwhelming from personal experience. Dreamer says, I meet my soulmate today. Oh, that's great. Congratulations. That doesn't happen every day. Good stuff. Good, Esle. I'm glad. I hope it helps you. Angela Jean, Wheel, I'm feeling so much energy coming, but so afraid to take that leap. And where should I leap, Brandon? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure where to go, where to leap. We can dive in. If you wanted to do a healing, we can dive on in. But if not, that's okay. I think the leap more so would be within yourself, Angela, if I'm being honest with you. It would be the leap of embracing what's truly coming up inside versus anything outside. And so if you have the courage and the will to want to go there, it's around really fully diving into the commitment to yourself to bring out the truth that's within. That is probably the hardest commitment and leap of faith to take, by the way, that I can share. David Lewis says, thank you very much for your words of wisdom, Brandon. I hope you have a lovely evening each other. Good night, brother Dave and Adiko. Thank you so much for that, David Lewis. I really appreciate that. Good. Angela Jean says, yes, please. Dreamer says, I meet him on a college campus. That's awesome. Aaron says, what happens if I want to spend all my time and energy in the ethereal and not deal with 3D anymore? We've all been there, trust me. There's also another way, and I know you probably already know this, but one of the other ways of avoiding the reality of who we are, what we are, is also escaping through the spiritual, escaping through the 5D, going into the subconscious or dreamland, and that allows us really to be something else, to be free. That's really why it's so attractive to be so spiritual, because you get to literally be something else other than what's really happening down inside. And so that's what we call spiritual escapism, right? So I know as much as it's tempting to do, because I've been there, we will always have to, as long as we live, deal with the 3D as much as we do the 5D, and they should be in perfect balance and harmony. Not too much 3D, but also not too much 5D. Okay, Esley, I believe you sent a donation, so congratulations. We are going to do a personal healing or reading for you. Let's get it going. So for Esley, thank you so much for your donation. What can we do? What can we read and do for you today? I know you asked a great question. Aaron Bryan says, yes, but I've been manifesting more spiritual people in my life, and it's working. That helps. Awesome. Good. Jeremy says, I don't know if you believe in psychics, but I kind of had a feeling that he was going to be on that college campus. So I packed my things and I went to college campus, which is open to everyone. That's awesome. Congratulations. Sounds like you had a divine insight that you were going to have to be there or need to be there for some reason, and you went. So good job. Really good job. All right. Esley, if you are still here, we are ready to rock and roll with your reading or healing. Or is there something you're looking for, Esley, that I can help you with? She says, I want to open all blockages. I want to know all the metaphysical gifts I have and how to bring it completely out. Awesome. Well, I'll do as much as I can for sure in this live stream. Let's get into it. Anastasia says, can migraines be energetic? I've had a few healings with you, and I've been and you have been doing work on my own with you, and have been, yes, migraines could be, yes, absolutely. However, there's two things that also cause migraines besides just the energetic stuff. One is a constriction of the energy, constriction of the vessels through stress, okay? So stress of survival, stress of anxiety, stress of regular life, right? Constriction, stress, and not enough relaxation or openness often will cause migraines in certain types of people. Hydration is another one, a big one, okay? Hydration, the stress and constriction, and then also detoxification is the third one. So if you've had a lot of energy work, and I know we did energy work last week, and a lot of energy is moving through, that definitely can cause, when things, right, start to detox from your body, migraines, because your body actually will process some of the toxins, and that can lead to inflammation or a migraine response too in the body, okay? So yes, absolutely. All right, Esley, let's go ahead and go into it. So we healed for her once before. She says, I want to open all blocks, so I want to know all the metaphysical gifts I have and how to bring it completely out. So guides and angels, good. For Esley here. Good. There she is. All right, good, Esley. So this time I can sense your energy much stronger than before, much more solid than before. So it's definitely been a big shift from last time. It's not as shall we say, open, or just kind of, it's stronger. It's more firm. Good. So the first thing that your guides are telling me is, we're gonna move all blockages, but the throat chakra, okay, I don't know if we hit on this last time, but the throat chakra specifically is the one where there's the gift, the energy of the gift. So they're saying in your throat chakra, there's the ability to really express insightful words of wisdom in a way that hits people, that shifts their reality. That's the first gift that they're saying you have. So they're showing me the divine insight that you have, Esley, that you can actually, in a way, channel in a way that brings words to life. They're saying you can bring words to life. Your divine insight hits people in a way that shifts their reality very strongly. Okay. They're saying you have the power to shift realities and shift lives, or energetically shift the world through these divine insights and spoken words. that is a relatively uncommon feat, meaning like you can turn it on and turn it off. Meaning sometimes you'll just be a regular kind of speaking or having conversation and it'll be fine. But this will just be like divine insight coming through. You'll say it, you'll speak it, and then boom, it shifts someone. They don't even realize it's happening. Okay. So the reason why it's harder or more difficult for you to recognize your gifts, Esle, specifically they're saying, is because sometimes you do this without even realizing it, and the person doesn't realize you're doing it. So it's hard for both of you to recognize there's a healing happening, and yet it's happening all the same. Okay. So that's the first one. The second one is in your heart, they're saying. You also have an ability to accurately intuit people's love blocks specifically. Being able to see what is keeping someone from accessing true love or accessing their deepest state of internal love. You have a very, like a heart radar is what they're telling me, Esle, specifically for you. And they're saying your heart has the ability to ascertain what someone is meant for as well in relationship and love. So you have a gift also to see, it feels like it's also connected to being able to see if someone's right for someone else or if they're not, or if they're divine partners or they're not. Like this is your other gift. So divine insight, spoken word, heart, knowing if someone's right for each other in a divine way. And then the third one that they want me to tell you, and this is down in your legs here. They say you're here to help empower movement or activity in people, meaning that you help bring energy to people's lower legs, right? The legs energy. What that does, it helps to bring a lot of movement forward or progress in people's life by freeing up or impacting. It's like they're showing me your words come through. They bring the energy straight down to move forward or to know what someone has to do or to just clear things up. So you might have been around a lot of people who, after you've had a conversation with, they've taken action, they've done work, or they've changed their reality. They've maybe, even made changes in relationships. But you have the potential to bring a lot of energy down for people, to ignite someone's fire, is what they're saying, through your energy and through your words, in men and in women. But this is also very prevalent in men. They're saying that you can bring energy down, and this downness brings men into their purpose. Okay, good. And then in terms of the clearing all blockages for Esle, let's go ahead and guides and angels see what we need to do for Esle in particular. So for you, it's actually, ironically, it's going to be about opening that last part up, the energy to go down into your legs specifically to move you forward. That's the saying that we're saying the main blockages right now, and then a little bit in the heart as well. Okay, heart, and then that's connected to the inner depths of the soul, from what I see for you. All right, Esle, are you here, and are you ready for this healing? Are you still with us in the YouTube chat? Just want to check in before we go in. Is this cool with you? She's here and ready. Let's go for it. All right. So this is for Esle in particular. We're going to bring this energy down into the legs here and to open up the fire for Esle. Guides and angels for Esle. Yep. Please allow us to bring the energy down past her sacral energy into the place of fire for her legs, for her soul, and to help ignite it for herself and all humanity. Ooh, and remove any and all of the entities that lie down there. Good. I see one little entity here, Esle, for you. Little ghoul-like creature right there in the legs. This is why I was blocked. Fire in the sacral here. All right. All right, so bringing this energy down to the fire, to the legs. In Jesus' name, I command you to leave. I command you to leave her energy here and now. Calling in the energy of Archangel Michael as well to help purify and release Esle from any of the entities or the blockages that she may have. They want me to tell you, Esle, just for your knowledge, that it was this was caused by alcohol, that this was allowed in from alcohol. Okay. And again, I don't know your habits or anything like that. It happens to everyone, happens to myself as well, but they just wanted me to alert you that that's how the blockage happened. Okay, in your particular case. Good. So they said they've been trying to tell you this for a while. All right. The power of unconditional love in Jesus' name. Good. So that entity is gone. So now we're going to bring the energy down. They're saying this in particular robs you of your fire. Okay, your fire, your passion to move forward in life. That's exactly what has been robbing it. If you've been wondering why, it's a dampening of the fire. Okay, and we'll see exactly why or what's happening here. So we want to ignite the fire in Esle's lower, past the sacral, the legs. Good. Allow that fire to move up, to reconnect through her sacral, and to purify mind, body, heart, and soul. And to help her body detoxify and release any of the energies that were holding her back from moving forward. We also release any and all other entities or portals that were created within Esle's soul or energetic body that were keeping her from her truth, keeping her from moving forward, and or disrupting her progress. Good. 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 So we reawaken this fire within Esle here and now through the power of unconditional love. We allow it to cleanse and burn. And we allow it to open up her heart chakra as well fully. We allow for the clearing and cleansing of her particular heart chakra. In Jesus' name and through the power of unconditional love, we allow it to clear and open up her heart chakra. And to know, oh good, to know fully her powers, the extent of her powers and the extent of her power to help transform others through the energy she holds inside. We wish for her soul to realize and to know this fully, and to be cleared and open to be able to move forward within her divine action. Good. We wish as well to release any blockages that are connected to her power in her throat, as well as the divine energy coming down through the spoken word and spoken truth. We wish this in Jesus' name. That's it. Good. Okay, Esle. How are you feeling? Let's check in the YouTube chat. She said, intensively attentive. I love it. She says, yes, please. I'm here and ready. How are you feeling? What did you feel and experience? So I went down into the energy near your feet, almost like in your ankles. It was your ankles, actually. And I lit a fire. I saw a fire light. And that fire went all the way up and started cleansing the rest of your body till it got to your heart. Then we released a small blockage from throat to heart and soul. And then I could feel just all of your energy aligned so it could move forward back into your power and empowering others to light their fire as well. Okay. So this is what I was speaking to when you asked me, how do we know what path to take for you with the many paths? So long as you're in this power, right, that's lit up inside of you, deep down within, starting from your ankles on up, that power, no matter where you go, is going to light people's day up, and it's going to really spark them down into their fire. That's your purpose. That's who you are. You can do that through a number of means, though. Does that make sense? You can do that through a number of means. Very good. Very good. All right, guys. Good job. All right. If there's anyone else that wants a live personal reading or healing, link is in my TikTok bio. You can donate $50 and get a reading today. And also in the YouTube live stream chat pinned at the top of the chat here. She says, thank you, Brandon. No wonder I had a bad energy. My ankles and legs were weak this morning, so was my throat. Spot on. Awesome. Good. That is going to light up your soul. It's going to be really powerful. I have no doubt. And feel free to, of course, email me if you have any questions or need some help integrating that as well. All right. All right, guys. Good. Well, I'll wait just a few more minutes. If there's anyone else that wants a personal reading or healing, I really appreciate those of you guys who have donated so far. It really helps me and Paulo to live, to pay the bills, etc., etc. And, of course, for little Alden to eat his food. She says, no more wine to numb the body pains. Yes, and I hope you know with love, right, that was one thing the guys were chuckling about, is that they've been trying to get through to you for a while. That one, it won't be necessary after this work is done and really integrated. But number two, that's what was continuing to dampen, right? Literally, I can see it dampening your own fire, okay, and your purpose. Nick Brown says, any tips on how to work on healing ourselves? I'd like to purchase another healing at some point, but I'd like to try to heal myself if possible, so we're not starting at square one. Yeah, absolutely, Nick. And it's so funny you asked that, because I was, it's been coming to me repeatedly over and over to start adding healing content into my YouTube channel for free, to just teach people how to heal, to teach people how to do what I do, because and everyone can do this. Everyone can do what I do. It's my specialty. It's my past life experience. It's my mastery in this lifetime. But I think there are others and a lot of people who can do exactly this. And part of my mission is, as I said last week, or I think yesterday, to wake people up to doing it. So let's get into it. So Nick, so he says, any tips on how to work on healing ourselves? Okay. So for you, Nick, and just generally speaking, all you got to do, and this is for everyone watching, just you can change your whole life just by hearing and listening to these words. If there's any physical symptom, physical or even imagined symptom that you're experiencing, whether it's a pain, whether it's a swelling, whether it's a numbness, whether it's an annoyance of some point, whether it's an allergy, whether it's a migraine, whether it's a hormonal imbalance, whether it's agitation, any particular physical or emotional symptom has a root cause that is causing some sort of disruption deep within, that when you get to, when you find it, when you feel it, it can go away, given the power of your spoken word and or your consciousness, your light brought to that. Okay. He says, I deal with all those. This is perfect then. I guess we're channeling for you. As it says, amazing. I can't wait to have my schedule free so I can get that one-on-one with you, Brendan. Awesome, Esley. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun one. Angela Jean says, yes, that would be so helpful to all of us, Brendan. Thank you, Nick. Awesome. So here's what you do. So let's just say that you have let's just take migraine, since that's one that had been mentioned. Okay. So you have this constriction, you have this tightness, and you have this pain. And you're like, I don't know why this is happening. Most people, what do? We take some Tylenol, we drink some water, we rest, and we complain to our girlfriend or boyfriend, like, I have a headache, take care of me. While there's nothing wrong with this, what you can actually do to let it go or heal it is you can rest, close your eyes, go into the pain of it. You go into the pain of it specifically. You go where the problem's presenting itself, okay? Now, not always where the problem is presenting itself, where the symptom is presenting itself, is where the root cause is, okay? Very important to know. So you may have a migraine, but it may be something stress-related deep within that's caused from some past life occurrence where we're afraid of dying because we don't have enough food, and this is causing internal stress, which in turn is causing the migraine. Does that make sense? Someone says, I thought you were Henry Cavill, so I stopped scrolling. That's awesome. I don't know who that is, but Henry Cavill. Who? Oh, Superman. Oh, sweet. Clark Kent. All right, so if we go into the head and we sense that constriction and we go, oh my gosh, it's tight, it's tight, it's tight. If you go even more into that constriction, and you rest with it, you can see even my face, right? I'm demonstrating what it would look like if I was painfully going into the pain of the constriction, and you rest with it. You will find that the more you rest with it and the more you be with it and enjoy it, that the pain will start to open. The pain will start to alleviate. The pain will start to flow. Yeah? Outside or inside of your body. Okay? But it takes having the bravery and trust to go into the pain first in order to cause the release. Now, our bodies know more about how to release, cure, or integrate these emotions than our head does every single time. Our heads don't know shit, excuse my French, compared to our body. Okay. Let's say we're dealing with heartache or heart issues of some sort. While our head has no idea how to process maybe what happened emotionally or traumatically, and let's say that heartache is causing literal high blood pressure or hypertension or the need for even, antidepressants or something like that. Okay. Oh, hey, beautiful us, beautiful S. She said here she's testing it out. So let us know your results in the chat. Okay. Our head doesn't know how to process that besides making medication to make the pain go away. But if we go into the heart itself where the issue's happening and we sit with that pain that we can literally feel in our heart space, physically or emotionally, doesn't matter which, just feeling that pain. And here's the third key, and this is going to change your life if you guys really take it in. You go into that pain and you receive it. Like you actually receive it in. Like you say, all right, body, I trust you to process this pain. Body, I trust you to receive and process this pain. I love this pain. I integrate this pain. I integrate this pain. I receive this pain. Boom, there it goes. Dispersed, released, absorbed, integrated. The body will know exactly what to do with it. By the way, the body knows what's not meant to be there and what is. And it will never keep in your body what's not meant to be there, just as it will never throw away what is meant to be there. Why do you think once we find our divine partner, no matter how many times, we don't think we want them, that they stick around? Because our body knows more than our head knows. Our soul knows. It's the same thing with illnesses. It's the same thing with anything. Okay? Does that make sense, Nick? Nick Brown? And you guys have any questions about that? This is a great conversation, by the way. I hope it's helping a lot of people to really find out. But this is the secret. It's very simple. It's not complicated. Everything we were taught about, it's got to be this complicated diagnosis. And no. If we go into that, we've lost our way because we've gone too much up into the head. Our bodies always knew how to heal ourselves. And you heard it from Joey earlier, clinical hypnotherapist. He's saying the same thing. Do I offer any classes? I offer not yet, I would say. I offer one-on-ones and recorded readings, but I should maybe create some classes. Yeah, I should create some classes for sure. Awesome. Nick Brown says, yeah, I get it. Thank you very much. Awesome, Nick. Yeah, I promise you, if you take that and you just go try it out, you run with it, it's going to change everything. And Hooney Star 68 says, mine are more blocks from my mind. That's same thing, right? So you got to go to the mind, but then eventually what you'll see is you have those things in the mind that are symptoms that are popping up are also connected somewhere in the body as well. Jenny Mack with the $50 donation. Thank you so much for your donation. And let's see what the guides and angels have for you today. Jenny Mack, what can we do for you today? Are you looking for a personal healing or a personal reading? Angela Jean, love you so much. So thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I hope that helps. And keep them coming if you guys have questions about that. I'm just opening up, I feel, the next avenue of work for me, which is actual physical healing. I think there's a bigger market in people who are looking for physical healing, actual physical healing, but by combining it with the spiritual and the emotional. Little Ted 22, I would love to read or heal for you. If you want to participate, I've got a donation link in the TikTok bio. Peace, love, one world. How often do I do lives? Pretty often, I'd say maybe 3-4 times a week at this point. Maybe more, maybe less. Hooney Star, you're so welcome. I appreciate that, Anastasia. I've done courses before. I've done like YouTube courses before. I did a tarot course before. I've done things like that. And it was pretty awesome. All right. Yeah, Jenny Mack, hello. Thanks so much for your donation. And Jenny Mack, what are you looking for your reading? What question can we answer for you? Awesome, Angela. Aaron says, I tend to ask if this is even my energy because we sometimes pick up on each other's pain. As empaths, then I release it. If it's not mine, if it is mine, I send it love and give gratitude for healing. That's awesome, Aaron. That's an awesome approach. That's exactly it. And then the question would arise, right? Is Tom my twin flame? Wow, Jenny's not messing around. She's already she's going right in to is Tom my twin flame? We're gonna go into it. And yeah, Aaron, I would add into that is empaths, we often feel other people's stuff, right? And it's one thing that Paula always reminds me is like if that thing is coming into your life, like why? Like what is it in us that's still needing to experience that or open to that or connected to that thing, right? That magnetized it in, which will often always lead us back to the self, which is connected to it all anyways. Okay, so this is for Jenny Mack, and this is straight up asking, is Tom her twin flame? For Jenny Mack, and this is around Tom, and is Tom her twin flame? Guides and angels, loved ones, masters, and wise ones. Jenny, I think you already knew the answer to this going into the reading. I'm going to give 100% yes on this one, and I'm going to tell you why. First card out, by the way, is the Wheel of Fortune, but that's only a confirmation of deep down inside what you feel in your soul. Deep down inside of your soul, there's two halves that create one and the greater whole of the universe of God, of source of everything. It's so big, it's hard to even contemplate or imagine, but it is there and it is true. Everything you felt deep down inside is 100% true. This is your person. This is the person that is meant to be a part of your destiny and to pull you away from all that you've experienced in terms of suffering, havoc, craziness, and chaos. Everything that you've experienced before this that was either sad or curious or wondering or painful or just outside of what you knew was your true person is going away. You are able to finally progress into all that you were meant to be and all that you were meant to receive. That will be in the form of his generosity, his love, and his romance for you. This is, as the guides have just stated, your forever person. Your forever person. And they're asking me to tell you to never let him go. Your soul will already know that this is something that can't really be let go of or be released. But that may be sometimes a question or a fear, is if you two will ever want to let each other go or need to let each other go, as you may have had to do in the past because the people that weren't right for you or something was off or it didn't seem completely 100% right. But no, they're saying this time is safe to work with. Safe to work with and safe to commit to because it's something and someone that will never refuse to let you go. Not never refuse, but will refuse to never let you go. Ace of Cups, Page of Cups, Page of Wands, Eight of Swords, and the Fool card. There's no more need for games, for testing, for, seeing if the truth is the truth. There's no more need to kind of figure out or discover or to wonder. Let this be your final confirmation that this is your person. This is your twin flame, your divine counterpart, your other half, your connection to God and Source. All of it all in one. And please be willing to take the leap of faith into all that your heart has ever known. Please be willing to take the journey as well to his love and his commitment, because it will require walking away from everything you ever once had known. Spiritually, emotionally, and even physically, this connection is going to take you places that you've never been able to experience just yet, spiritually and emotionally and physically. And they're asking me to let you know that it's okay and it's safe to walk away from everything you once did know that made sense in order to be with this person and in their arms, because they will take you to the place where you need to go. Okay. There he is. Final three cards of advice. They're saying that if things have been a little bit rocky or rough, or there's been apologies or just sudden things ending or just kind of epic sagas happening or just feeling like things are peeling off, like parts of you are dying off that are just like not needing to be there, and this is a little scary, or you're wondering like why this is all happening. They're just saying, just know that this is all part of the natural healing and evolutionary process. It is normal. It is okay. And it is exactly what you're here to experience. There's no need to be afraid or intimidated or worried about that. It's causing you to accelerate in your spiritual growth, and it's causing for him to accelerate in his growth as a practitioner of light. That's what he's meant to be, a practitioner of light and sound. They just told me, light and sound. And final last words of reckoning or advice. Things may be just a little bit, like things may get a little rocky, is what the guides are sharing with me, or they may be more, a little bit more rocky. Like this is just a message for moving forward in your future. They may seem like things are testing you guys, that things are constantly intense or sad, that old stuff from the past keeps getting brought up. It may seem like there's just this divine test or divine judgment or divine kind of orchestra playing for you guys. But there's also this divine track that's going to be fed to you guys or given to you guys should you continue along, that will eventually lead to a wish fulfillment or a total dream come true or a new opportunity for life for both of you, and something you've never even imagined was possible, which is just really living really big in the world, in a way that it's like you guys have your own empire together, king and queen. So they're saying be persistent, be strong, continue to be okay struggling through it, and know that it's going to lead you guys to a more incredible place than you even thought possible. Okay? Good. All right, Jenny Mac, that is for you. Very good question. I hope that helps you on your way. Congratulations. You are on the Twin Flame, Twin Soul journey. It's a crazy one. It's a crazy one. All right, guys, good. All right, so that was the last donation I have on my list for now. I'll give it a couple more minutes in case anyone decides they want a personal reading or a personal healing here in this particular moment. You're welcome, Jenny. And good luck with everything. I think it's going to be amazing, an amazing ride for you guys. He feels like a very great man in the making. All right, so if you guys have any last questions for me or anything you're wanting to know that I can share with you from personal experience, we are at 2:12 in the live stream, so it's probably a good time to start to close down. But I'll wait just a couple more minutes in case anyone does want that personal healing or reading. You can get it in the TikTok link in the bio or pinned at the top of the YouTube chat. Iron on Suez, hello. Welcome to the live stream. I appreciate you being here. It's been a little while. Welcome back. We're having some people that were with us from way before originally that are back in action. And I love that so much. Jared Holland is asking, is my grandmother with me? Jared, I would love to tap into that. I would love to tap into that if you want to get a personal reading or a donation. That'd be awesome. You're so welcome, Iron. But without further ado, I think we're going to close it out here now. If you guys want to watch the replay, by the way, it's on my YouTube channel, Science of the Soul and Stars. I so appreciate all of you guys for showing up. Thank you so much for your donations, for your time, for watching this particular live stream. I hope the messages are helpful. Moving forward, I believe there's going to be more healing content because I feel really drawn to that. So physical, emotional, or spiritual healing content, if you guys are looking for stuff like that, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel, Science of the Soul and Stars. And just giving free helpful content for people wondering how to heal certain things on a spiritual or emotional level, in the physical, in actuality. The last thing is, if you guys want a personal reading or personal session, you can check out my website at brandontobias.com. I do live one-on-one sessions, coaching and empowerment containers, and pre-recorded tarot and astrology readings. And I appreciate it very much. So let me see if there's any last messages before we close out. Just generally, it feels like there's one more thing that they want me to share, to talk about here in this way. Esley says, I was with you before you went on a break. I changed my username. Glad you're back. It's good to have you back, Esley. You're welcome, Stephanie. Thanks so much. All right. They want me to say to you guys, everything you're doing right now is perfect. Everything you've evolved, you realize you've progressed into is amazing. Truly amazing. And they want to give you credit. They want to give you validation. They want to give you energy back for the person you've stepped into and decided you wanted to become. They're saying you are welcome to take this next step, this next leap here and now. But first, before you do that, they want you to know that everything you've stepped into now is absolutely amazing. And while there's a next chapter for all of us to step into and for a cycle to close as well, part of the acceptance is not just the hard stuff. It's not just the dark and or evil stuff that's happened to us that we can accept in. It's also all the good that we've done for the world. It's all the service we've given. It's all the energy we've given. And that's the last part moving forward as we close out for today, through the power of unconditional love, that we can all accept in back into our hearts of all the good, all the love, all the energy that we've stepped into becoming, so that we can step into an even greater expression. So I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much again for joining this Sunday live stream. It's an honor to be in front of you, and I can't wait to see you on the future live streams. I will be going live throughout the week sporadically, hopefully around 10, 11, or 12. If not, then around 5 or 7 PST. And of course, we'll be doing more healings and readings via donation and answering some more questions. So thank you guys so much again. I appreciate you. And if you have any questions or need help integrating any of the work from today, feel free to email me at brandon.tobias888@gmail.com. Aaron, if you're watching, I'm going to go ahead and send you that link here to schedule for next week here and now, and we'll go from there. Bye, guys.